Hi, my name is Richard Hobbs. I'm the co-founder of The Hub, which is Asia's first real branded fashion trade show. Welcome.
What we're trying to do here is to create a platform for brands from around the world to come into an environment where they're kind of used to from showing at exhibitions around the world, so that the quality of the brands around them and the way we presented the hub is something that they're used to, and to have a chance to meet with retailers from around Asia.
The hub is something that was really needed in Hong Kong, or for all Asia really, because there's so much demand of like getting new brands here, but it needs somebody who curates this and who selects which is really cool upcoming brands.
There are brands from around the world who are very keen to come into Asia, and there are people within Asia who are very keen to interact with international brands, but there is nowhere where the two people could meet.
The multi-brand retail channel in Asia is not as strong as it is in other parts of the world. We're hoping to encourage people to get into multi-brand retail by either partnering or opening up stores. We have buyers from all of the major department stores and retail groups in the region. Plus we have business people from the mainland coming in who are looking to partner with or even invest in brands and help them grow their business in Asia.
This is what the hub is doing basically. It picks brands that make sense and that you know are upcoming in other countries, and then you bring them to Asia. So it's a platform to really connect people who want to build up brands and brand owners. And that's kind of what was missing here.
So we put on a bunch of different events. We had a cocktail party, a gentleman's night out, which is for our better menswear labels. We've also got a denim dinner, and there's a couple of other parties on tonight which are being run by other people. And we're inviting our exhibitors and our visitors to go along and have a good time there as well. What we've done is we've broken the exhibitors down into four main categories, and those are indigo for denim and denim-friendly brands, heritage, which are brands which have tended to come from Europe and the UK with a proper history, contemporary, which is more fashionable, leading-edge products, and street, which covers street fashion, active and urban fashion.
Well, this brand's been going since 1894. It was started in the UK, and originally it was a brand of jackets that were being sold to local fishermen, and then it developed from a very, very simple design of a waxed cotton jacket into a catalogue business, into a much bigger business, and now here we are finally at the Hub in Hong Kong.
We've chosen to be at the Hub this year because it's a good mixture of brands that are very high quality that have been curated to find really good potential buyers in the Southeast region.
Before, I've also participated in Fashion Week in Hong Kong. Now the trade shows there, I think with my own experience, it's a little bit different from the trade show this time here, mainly because I think the trade shows in Fashion Week in Hong Kong Fashion Week is more geared towards sourcing and manufacturers, whereby here it's more genuinely all fashion related, and I think it's more appropriate for us fashion brands to participate as well.
What we try to do is get a good mix in each of those areas of both bigger names and up-and-coming or even brand new labels that are all looking to do more business in Asia.
My company is Made From Fragrance, which is on France. Actually, we will be launched in Hong Kong soon, so I'm looking for some potential and some unique brand in Hong Kong that can be developed or have any cooperation with our company.
We basically invite anyone can apply to exhibit at the Hub. It can be a well-established brand or it can be a startup, but as long as they're looking after their business and investing well, we'll have them in the Hub.
We are a British factory brand where all our products are handcrafted in our own factory using British materials, British fabrics, British heritage, and British quality.
But we have to go through, look at their advertising, their line sheets, get a list of their stockists, make sure that they're actually a legitimate, credible brand that's investing in advertising, that invests in design and development, and connects with the consumer.
Now the market is very different, let's say 10 years ago. So I could say my brand has evolved quite a bit, even though the brand product itself has always remained more geared towards knitwear. I feel that not only is a great interest for myself, but I think it also helps to be a bit more niche towards the market itself, but also have a bit more competitive edge in this very competitive market now in the industry.
But we do keep the numbers down. We've only got 100 brands here, and next season we're going to increase, but we'll still keep the numbers manageable. As you can see when you walk around, we have accessories, we have footwear, we have bags, we even have electrical goods, we have interiors such as the place we're in now with the Johnson Music, we've got education, we've got parties. This is all related to fashion. We've tried to make it very easy for our exhibitors as much as possible by giving them a more interesting stand design than you would normally expect to get at a trade show. But then we encourage them to decorate it, make it their own. Some of the brands have built their own, as you can see. People like Crumpler, Desigual, Y3, Yamane have all built their own booths. Many people have just taken the shell schemes that we designed for them and build for them, and then just work from there.
This type of trade show is very well focused to assemble each of these brands that have a certain characteristic that's consistent for all of these buyers that are visiting at the show. So whether you're looking at denim or heritage or contemporary or street, there's going to be a little bit of variety between all the brands, but not too much that you have some buyers that are not shopping for the same types of products.
We expect to receive buyers mainly. We're looking to develop, as I said, the wholesale business. So we're looking for buyers from all over Asia Pacific, mainly China, which is, and so far we're receiving a lot of people from China, which is good. But we also want to see people from other countries, from India, from Korea, Southeast Asia, everywhere.
I'm definitely looking for new business partnerships, be it in China or simply Asia, in which everybody is looking towards now as well. So this is something that I've also had in mind, is to possibly to link up with different business partnerships in Asia.
A lot of story about China. The market is huge, and it sounds like that everybody spend $1 on your brand, that you become, $1 billion brand.
Whereas in Asia and certainly in China, the growth is much more dynamic and almost low double figures or high single figures. So we have a situation in China where the middle class, the consumer spending, is growing dynamically. And these people are looking for new ways to spend their money. And they need new brands. They're interested in coming across these brands.
We can say this is the fashion industry really emerged in the past 5 years. That means now we can saw many we call in China market. So second tier or the third tier international brand really have the chance to enter the China. It's a real time.
I think people make a mistake if they think that China is just one place. There's a big difference between Dalian and Shanghai. There's a big difference between the region has different climates, different needs, different types of people. So it's important not to think of the places Asia or China, but you have to think of each market separately.
每个城市都不一样，像在一线城市啊、二线城市啊，它这种潮流品牌啊会好很多。 但是如果说3线就是稍微往后排一些城市，有些人接受这些新鲜事物的能力可能就会稍微弱一点。
China itself is very diverse. You've got first-tier cities where people became in the last 2 years very knowledgeable about brands actually, and then you've got all the lower tier cities where people are not yet that educated, and this brings a big dilemma for brand owners, because basically you need a different brand and design language for lower tier cities where people still want the big logos to show off, which is understandable because if you buy a fashion product, it's a big part of your income basically, with the average income that's not so high. And then you've got the higher tier cities where people are more sophisticated. They do not want the big logos anymore. They want something that's the next level.
You're not talking about just taste levels, but in terms of sizing issues, the southern customer to the northern customer have very different sizing, very different cultural, different taste values. So all these, definitely affect how you develop your business in China as well.
We have a situation in China where the middle class, the consumer spending is growing dynamically, and these people are looking for new ways to spend their money. They need new brands. They're interested in coming across these brands. So we know the demand is there. I think the challenges are going to be in a number of areas. One is probably when it comes to running a business or managing a business within Asia, certainly within China, the skill sets, knowledge in merchandising, in buying, in visual merchandising. These are things that need to be developed. The retail scene in China is still relatively young, so there's still a lot of growth and a lot of experience to be gained.
The differences of China, firstly, is the law. The law is that how to register the company, how do you export the money, the profit, and also the lab tests on the garments. Secondly is the relationship. We call it guanxi, because if you're a fashion brand, you enter China, if you really want to secure a better position, it's not because of you are willing to pay the commission or not. It's also you have to know people, the guanxi. So it's talking about exposure, especially fashion brands. The best exposure is your store image. So eventually you have to let the consumer to experience the shopping, environment in the shop. So to secure the good shop in China, the location is one of the hard things, And guanxi this time is also the thing is, how do you know the right agents? Because the agents, the backgrounds, the organization, cultures, the competence, and how do you develop the agents?
You have to find the right business partner in Chinese market because the distribution system is quite different with the Western market, just not neither European market or the American market, because the buyer is few. It's not many buyers up to now in China market because they use the agency or licensee for the international brand to develop in Chinese market.
The problem, another thing is that China market is so open. A lot of people, they can travel freely outside, so they can discover the retail price of a product out of China is much more expensive in China. But as a merchant, to doing business, when you have to put all these expenses, import duty, VAT, labor, by covering the expenses. So you have to mark up sufficiently to cover all the expenses, and naturally the price is really high.
I won't say that because it's difficult, I don't want to get in. It's just that I'm being cautious, and this is also the reason why I'm here today in the hub, is to try and do some business matching or simply do a bit of researching into meeting different kinds of people, hopefully coming from China or simply coming from Asia, and to make hopefully the right links and the right connections with people.
The reason why I joined this hub particularly to taking care of the visitor in China is to bridge, the gap between the China investor, the visitor, and the exhibitor. So what we provide is that firstly, we provide translators, so help them to be easier. You see that when a Chinese visitor they come over, they see in the booth everyone is blue eyes, brown hair. So they don't even dare to talk to them. So we provide a translator, we train the translator, how to open the dialogues.
翻译很好，翻译稿子也很好，而且很贴心，然后几乎很多的翻译，随时都能找到，我们跟商家之间的交流都很顺畅。
对，比如说刚好走到一个牌子，有可能单译就跟上来了，这种速度还是很跟上的。
And then after that, our exhibitor to collect the name cards. Then we will help them as a first step scan, because I have been living in China for 10 years. At least I know part of them. Okay, this company they're doing manufacturing. This people is doing what? So what is their intention? That is the second step. We try to help them.
I find that Mandy brand is very unique and also special, and I find that maybe they will be very popular in Hong Kong. So I'm very looking forward for the cooperation with them. Our fragrance is made from some organic ingredients, so I find some skincare and also some cosmetic brand which made from essential oils very interesting to have a cooperation with them.
At least our exhibitor, the name card they collected, we can help them to get contacts. Then initially they have a very good at least response, and they know they clarify the direction for the next couple of months. That is what we call it successful.
Fashion is not something that you just do from 9 to 5. It's a true lifestyle industry, and it's a true lifestyle business if you're involved in it.
Fashion attracts people who are involved in visuals and creative outlets. So fashion is always filled with interesting people, and interesting people, do fun things.
Fashion is also all about showing your personality.
They are also wearing the clothes according to their own lifestyles. How their lives are, how they live their lives, all different ways of lives, basically.
So you need a brand where you kind of fit in your community, your peer group.
If you look at, now with the prevalence of online and social media, everything is transparent. So sharing is the norm now, it's not the exception. There are brands and companies now that are being completely transparent about their business operations, even down to the costing of their garments. So there's no secrets anymore. You as a brand will succeed if you've got great product, great vision, great marketing. You can't play games with the consumer or the trade. Everybody knows what's going on.
So what we do is that now a lot of brands we talk to, we tell them, some of the fundamental, the elements that are actually in China. As a brand, they need to change a little bit of the mindset, what China should be. You have to work with a big organization, so they have a different mindset. Perhaps you have to grant them production license, or are you willing to do so? Then how can you protect your own brands? By granting them production license. So it's a lot of things. Yeah, we have to do some massage to both the visitors, yes, and the exhibitors.
We are excited about the visitors that we had today in our stand, mainly from mainland China. but also from the whole region, from Asia. So we think it's going to be a good platform for the business. It's a bit early today to close deals because it was the first day, but we already had some nice contacts.
Some of my expectations have already been fulfilled. I've met some great distributors and I've met some independent retailers, so that's fantastic. And of course, meeting members of the press to tell the story of Faber.
We've been amazed at how many people have actually heard of us before. Some of them have visited our shops in the UK. Some of us have read about our factory, have read about Nick. So it's very encouraging and very exciting and very gratifying to meet people that have been following our products, our brand's progress, and it's good to learn more about the Chinese market.
The fashion industry runs seasonally. There are 2 main seasons a year. We've already committed for our second trade show, which will happen on the 25th to the 27th of February here at Asia World Expo, and that will be increased to 150 brands. We've also confirmed for the event after that in August, so we are well on our way. We're going to be around for a long time.
We always have fun, Nick and I. Possibly too much fun.
Yeah, we have to be
possibly. Yeah, well, we like to laugh a lot and drink a lot and party a lot.
Yes,
definitely.
We are having a beer just like in 5 o'clock. It won't happen in
we're having happy hour at 5 o'clock. So.
We love it. So yeah, the hub is like bring us the parties and yeah, it's nice.